What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what the hell happened today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoFi went down 2.83%. It's a little bit of a rough day. 26.55 the low, 27.45 the high, and 57.4 million shares being traded. So overall today we did see a lot of institutional transactions. Interestingly enough though, this right here, this nice spike, was shorts rapidly returning 1 million shares. Not exactly sure why they would do that near the end of the day, but nonetheless, I'll go over what shorts did and everything else. Today we did have some key data first thing. So we had ADP, the weekly, coming in at roughly 4,700, a lot better than the previous of negative 13,000. Then we had September and also October JOLT numbers. All of this data came in on point. So this is where the market was somewhat torn because we want negative data, right? Negative data justifies rate cuts. Big day is also coming out tomorrow. And it does look as though that the market's priced in a 25 basis point cut. So this is where I feel like there's a certain level of hesitation, as what some analysts mentioned last week, that the market might have prematurely priced in a cut because as of right now, there is a 87.4% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut. This obviously leads me to believe that Powell will not be cutting tomorrow. And I know that might be unpopular opinion and might not be what the market wants to hear. But if the market is unsure of a cut, again, 87.4%, then Powell, he doesn't like gray. He likes black and white. That is it. So he just says, hey, you know what? The data justifies it, or vice versa. The data doesn't justify it. So I think in general, based on this, it's fair to assume that he won't be cutting. So the market might throw a little bit of a temper tantrum tomorrow, unfortunately. The only other thing that did come out was more specific to SoFi was this. So this came out first thing at 8:45. SoFi and Templum launch exclusive private market opportunity in Epic Games and Stripe. So this is good stuff. It shows that the offering is available from December the 8th to the 19th. So this is more showcasing SoFi's kind of pre-existing partnership. So this partnership with Templum was already announced back in 2024, so December 4th, 2024. Nonetheless, I think this is good, but is this a reason to buy SoFi or sell? Probably not. And this is again probably why you didn't see that much institutions really buying SoFi today. Aside from that, the only other thing I wanted to kind of bring up was posted by SoFi Insider. So shout out to them. I know they love their credit, but it shows outgoing traffic and then from a government URL. So in general, a lot of people are speculating on what that could potentially mean. It does show, I assume this is a month over month increase of 523%, but some people are speculating that it is linked to this, which kind of comes out roughly the same time within November. So Trump officials reportedly consider selling student loan debt to private investors. Could be that, or it could just be SoFi changing, possibly authenticating behind the scenes, kind of redirecting to some government ID, possibly. So we'll have to wait and see how that does play out, and if we maybe get a big announcement or something. Most likely we probably won't be hearing anything up until their upcoming earnings, which is slated for, I assume, January, February, that time frame. Aside from that though, shorts. So by the end of the day, they did return 974,000 shares. When I was preparing for this video, they were increasing 200,000. So from here to here, they did return roughly around 1.1 million shares. $1 million question is why? I think that's anyone's guess. But aside from that, 10.01% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 117.16 million shares overall being shorted. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Looking at options, 44 million in calls, 11 million in puts, and then 52% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that 28.50 to 29. So a lot of good optimism is still on the table. I'm sure some of that has to do with Powell. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub kind of 25 to 26. So definitely a little bit more back and forth. As I mentioned though, a lot of institutional transactions. Not all of them are buys though. So these are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. All the big ones above 1 million are all sells. Big one, 84.3 million, 9.01, 8.05, 7.4, 9.29. So definitely interesting stuff. Why institutions would have been selling this to this magnitude, again, is another random mystery for today. I didn't really see anything crazy coming out to kind of prompt that as well. But these are some of the transactions that did occur on the dark pool. And given how active shorts were, it is fair to assume that most of this was actually linked to them. Aside from all of that, with it at 26.83, it is trading between this S2 and this S3. So 26.71 is going to be a strong support. Just watch for that. If it does fail to hold, then anticipate most likely the $25 range at the very bare minimum. And then 26.01 followed by 27.20 as the next strong target / resistance points. Aside from all of that, on the actual chart itself, this is where things could get very interesting tomorrow. And I think I even mentioned this in my video yesterday, but post Powell, we most likely will be either seeing a touch of that 50-day moving average, or this 100-day moving average will break. So it's going to really, tomorrow's going to be a big deal for the market. And I think that's a massive understatement, because there's a lot of different ways how this could play out, right? You could see Powell giving a cut initially, which has already been priced in, but then he fails to really give any optimistic tone for January and onwards, or he could just not give a cut and then kind of be more just optimistic for January as far as the next cut. There's a lot of different ways how it could all go down. So we'll have to wait and see again, but those most likely are going to be the 2 points and kind of pivot points to really watch for. Aside from that, though, because of the recent price action, stochastic RSI is neutral, so it's not overbought nor oversold. Nothing really crazy for any articles. You do see a lot of algorithmic trading right here, but no new analyst rating. So today was all in all a very, very interesting day. Give yourself a shout out if you did buy, if you sold. Are you doing similar to what institutions are doing and you sold out? Again, as long as people made money, I don't really care what you guys do. I'm not here to hype you up. I'm not here to bring you down. As long as everyone made money, that's all that matters. So let me know your thoughts. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.